struggles the team went through this season has prepared them to deal with anything. I hear that, but bro, like, fam. I like what you said about real pressure, DG, single mums, and all of that. Of course, there's bare pressure in football, and for obvious reasons, in Real Madrid and it's Arsenal, there's bare pressure on Madrid, there's bare pressure on Arsenal. There's plenty of talking points that we've been waffling about. But in the grand scheme of things, what is it? You're a footballer, you're playing in a big game, you are just literally playing a big game, a game of football. You lose, so what? Wow, you lost. Have you lost your job? Can you still pay your bills? Will people be upset? 100%, but eventually they get on with it. Life goes on, bro. It is what it is in that regards. T, speaking of moving on, Alex Crooker said Arsenal are confident their move for Martin Zubimendi will be completed by early June. Sources close to the club have told TalkSport that negotiations are progressing well to make Zubimendi their first signing of a busy summer. Frankfurt, Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike, ironically, been linked with Real Madrid, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, this one, that one, and the third. Frankfurt will demand 90 to 100 million for Hugo Ekitike in the summer, according to Blin. He has 21 goals and 9 assists for Frankfurt this season. Again, you can put the lid on all you want, but we're turning up to fry you. If we do go through, we've got Paris Saint-Germain, and what big up you that was part of that watch along. Good game, weren't it? Juventus apparently are ready to sell Vlahovic for around 55 million this summer. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Newcastle are all keen, but would be willing to pay closer to 45 million euros. Someone's going to get robbed for that. UEFA will consider changing the seeding rules for next season's Champions League amid criticisms that Arsenal will play the second leg of the quarterfinal against Real Madrid away from home, despite finishing ahead of them in the league table. We don't mind that. I know there's a certain club that won it, and their manager cried, and they're running away with the league, and they've won this trophy many times. They were crying about it. Just trying to piss off Marcel in the chat still. Atletico Madrid are interested in re-signing midfielder Thomas Partey this summer on a free transfer. Would you not let him go? Kieran Tierney has rejected offers from big clubs across Europe, including Juventus and Leverkusen, in order to seal his Celtic return. Liam Delap could reject a summer transfer to Manchester United. It's believed he wants to play for a club competing in Europe, with Chelsea or Arsenal his preferred choices. Anyone having Liam Delap? I don't know. William Saliba and Real Madrid may have a ring to it, but it would be a war of... Yeah, that word's mad, man. Fuck it, let's go. Irritation. I tried. In life, you try, it didn't bang. We tried. They're trying to sign him in it. And to be fair, it was some good defending from William Saliba in Real Madrid's favour in the first leg, man, when he cleared that shot indirectly off the line. We know Saliba's sick. We know he's got 2 years left on his deal. We know all about his project, people, and all of those kind of things. We've come a long way in which maybe not the club, but externally it did well. Internally, maybe not them, but externally to us fans, there was a point where everyone's thinking, oh, you know what, Saliba, he might not make it here. But yeah, man, and not just to have William, we've come a long way at the Emirates to have a half decent centre back, but to have William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Jurriën Timber, Benjamin White, Lewis Skelly, I'm gonna say Calafiori, he's soon land, Tommy to a degree. But yeah, too many smart words. Too many smart words. We know he's a cornerstone and part of one of the most formidable defenses in Europe. He's attracted interest from elsewhere too. Arsenal's Champions League opponents, Real Madrid, are long-term admirers of Saliba with just 2 years remaining on his contract, and they've shown they'll wait for players because they're committing. It's not crimes, but Mbappe went for free. There's something to learn with how PSG went there. Liverpool, we hear that Trent has made his mind up a long time ago that I'm cutting for free. No beef with the players. But is there something Arsenal could learn? Very different. Everyone's situation is different. But at what point do you bite the bullet and say, if you're not signing by X amount, you need to go? Because Saliba should be getting us 100 million minimum. If he doesn't sign a new deal, and I would say more so next year, World Cup year, all of that kind of stuff, they come to us with an offer. We've got a decision to make. Letting him leave for free is unacceptable. It is what it is, man. Please not. But yeah, he's got 2 years remaining. The French international has given no indication that he's preparing to leave Arsenal. I'm very happy here. I'm happy here. I want to continue here. But he has spoken about wanting to win trophies with Arsenal, but also to be recognized as one of the best in the world. You need to win trophies. He did speak about wanting the fans to remember him. I'm sure that's the intention, but at some point, God forbid, if Arsenal are not getting to where he wants and these clubs are onto him, a football career short, Pardon me. At the same time, there's no denying that William Saliba and Real Madrid has a certain ring to it. If there's a centre back out there who could be classified as a Galactico, it's surely Saliba. Come on, Gabriel Magalhaes is right at our club. If you accept the premise that Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world, they are, then Saliba undoubtedly belongs among that cohort. The 24-year-old's immaculate, upright style of defending would ensure that his white shirt was never muddied. Hey, see what I'm saying? Spurs fans tried to say Romero and them and there were better than our centre backs. United, you said Lisandro Martinez. Throw in a childhood friendship with Kylian Mbappe and the story writes itself. Like, listen, Saliba, you're going to play for Real Madrid one day. It is what it is. I've seen Thierry Henry leave this club so that nothing can break me. But it is what it is. Can we just, and it's not even just with Saliba, can we just achieve some things with these players here? An imminent move such as in this summer's transfer window remains unlikely. However, Real Madrid do need a centre-back this summer, but the high price on Saliba's head probably places him out of reach. If Madrid are to land him, it would be a war of whatever that is. As with Mbappe before at Paris Saint-Germain, they will hope Arsenal are unable to extend Saliba's contract, enabling them to obviously get him at a lower fee next summer or for nothing in 2027. And again, Saliba's contract 2027, Mikel Arteta 2027, Gabriel Magalhaes 2027, Martinelli 2027, Bukayo Saka 2027. That 2027 stuff, very interesting. Arsenal are aware of Madrid's interest. I mean, it's nothing new. They've probably been monitoring him for time, but remain confident that they'll be able to reach an agreement with Saliba over a new contract. They value him incredibly highly. He's already the highest paid defender at the club, and that him and Gabriel Magalhaes, it needs to be much higher. Arsenal's interest in 50 million Bournemouth defender Dean Hudson, forgive me for mispronunciation, is intended to provide a supplement to Saliba and Gabriel and not a potential replacement. New sporting director Andrea Berta would ideally like to avoid stars such as Saliba and Bukayo Saka entering the final 2 years of their deals. Equally, the club are realistic about how long such important negotiations can take. Saliba had entered the final 12 months of his previous Arsenal contract before his 4-year extension was announced. At the time, there was some surprise that Saliba's new deal only ran for a further 4 years. He's smart, just like Saka. Honestly, if I'm Saka's agent, if I'm Saliba's agent, I'm trying to commit you to 3 to 4 years at Arsenal. And if you're Arsenal, you want 5, just because every 18 months, they need to start thinking about giving you a new deal. And if you don't keep doing what you're doing, more peace. And if I'm William Saliba, if I'm Bukayo Saka, if I'm any top talent that potentially could sign for this football club, not to pocket watch, and I definitely ain't no agent or any of those things. And all the situations are different. It all depends when you got brought in. But let's even take in Gabriel Magalhaes, for example, and I think even Saliba. Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, and they're defo someone else. They all earn more peace than you. Or they're more important than you. And that just shows you life mirrors football. It's not always what you deserve, it's what you can negotiate. So it's an interesting period for Berta to see what he's going to do, people. Ultimately, the length was a compromise, weighing Saliba's salary demands against Arsenal's preferred contract length. When that deal was signed, all parties knew it would mean a renegotiation commencing in 2 years' time, in which Saliba's stocks has risen, innit? Arsenal have been here before, with a superstar French international being linked with Madrid too often for comfort. Patrick Vieira was a reported target for Madrid on a seemingly annual basis. Hey, bro, I love Patrick Vieira. But some of you forget, these guys used to huff and puff a long time. And a football career is short, you know. People want to get at Ashley Cole. I'm not here to back him. But we know there was a contract put on the table and then it was pulled from Ashley Cole. It was pulled from his feet. And people say you lack loyalty. Remember, football's a two-way street. I only say that to say this, silly, but as much as I want you to stay at Arsenal, if you genuinely want to go to Madrid, go and do it. Because at the end of the day, it's you that's going to have to live with regret when your career is done, in it. So we'll have to see. But that was a deal that ultimately never came. Okay. Some reports have also suggested the two clubs could find themselves in another tussle over Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi. Despite some voices at Real Madrid liking the 26-year-old Spain international, they've been linked with McAllister. McAllister's dad's come out and poured cold water over that. The club claim they are not actively working on his signing at this point and even suggest they see him joining Arsenal. The London club remain confident they are well positioned to complete a deal this summer. For his part, Saliba is making all the right noises regarding staying at Arsenal and certainly looking content enough when the 3 goals went in against Madrid. We all know what? After a successful loan with Marseille in 2021-22, Saliba toyed with the idea of leaving Arsenal permanently. Some of you Arsenal fans were dickheads as well, because you were saying, Saliba, if Arteta wants to sell Saliba, let him go. We were saying dead all of that. I need to get back to the loan reports, because it was lovely watching Saliba. It was lovely watching the clangers he dropped, the good performances, just to know what we're getting. But even me, the way you've taken to it at Arsenal, crazy. Ultimately, the driving force behind staying was a refusal for his time with Arsenal to be seen as a failure. Saliba did not want a blank mark on his otherwise outstanding CV. Probably the greatest moment of the previous regime, really. Like, I swear we signed him when it was Raul Sanye and all of that. We've got 101 likes, people. If you've hit the like button, God bless you. Smash the like button if you haven't. If you have, hope you win the lottery. Hope you get brandings and everything else. If you're an Arsenal fan, I hope we score 3-4 goals. Even if you're an Arsenal hater, smash the like button, because you might hate my club. You like the content, though. I get so many of you pagans. You hate me. I'm ridiculous. I'm messed. And Saliba, admittedly, me at 30 years of age now, this statement does capture me romantically initially. Why for that? But yeah. But then when I'm only 30, but I've been around football now. Like, it don't really mean much to me. I know that this is what the players have to say anyways. But for what it's worth, if you want to take heed from this, I want to win big things with Arsenal. If you leave this club without winning anything, the fans will forget about you. I want to win big things. A couple man didn't win nothing, and I forget them yet. But anyways, Arsenal and Bayern allegedly have opened talks for Jonathan David. I've discussed this yesterday, people. Obviously, it's easy to link Arsenal as well as many a club with strikers. Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, West Ham, Munich, Juventus, and Inter Milan, and Barcelona every now and again continuously are linked with him. Yes, you could think it's a free transfer and it might be cheap, but apparently Sky Sports Switzerland are saying that he is demanding a gross salary of 9 million per season and a signing on fee of 15 million plus an agent fee of 10 million, which takes that free transfer to over 34 million. I mean, he's got 23 goals in all comps. He is 25. He is Canada's top goal scorer, but it's a bit mad, isn't it, really? We've gone over this. I think Dean Hodgson, if Real Madrid want you, everybody, but you will go. He is twerking for them. But yeah, we've heard several British clubs have held talks. Barcelona have reportedly pulled out of contention to sign Nico Williams, leaving Arsenal in pole position to land the Athletic Club winger this summer. Didn't they pull out of the Gundogan deal only to then sign him? He's been linked with the Camp Nou. He's been linked with Arsenal. Every now and again, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool are re-thrown back in the mix. We also hear Rafinha could be up for sale with Barca. There's a lot of whispers. I mean, if I could take this for gospel, it would be nice. Apparently, Barcelona are no longer contenders to land Williams. Arsenal have been given the perfect chance to sign one of Arteta's priority transfer targets. Aston Villa, Chelsea, Man United have all been linked with a move for the 22-year-old. Although Football Transfers understands that Arsenal are leading candidates to sign in this summer, and the Emirates Stadium switch is now certainly on the cards. Williams is expected to, I'm going to say, dislodge Martinelli and Trossard as Arsenal's preferred left winger if he joins the club this summer, while he may be used on the right flanks on occasion to give Saka a rest. You're done, no? Wavy. But yeah, Arsenal make Liam Delap decision as favourites revealed. Arsenal are reportedly the only Premier League club not pursuing a deal for Ipswich Town's forward Liam Delap. I think, you know what, it'd be nice to get a Gyökeres and a Delap, but I know I'm dream chasing, expecting two strikers to sign for us. Apparently, Chelsea and Man United are also interested, people. Amarin's Man United are seen as the favourites. Today, Liam Delap's cold, yeah, but do Man United need another young striker? Because you've got Zertsky, who's half a striker, half not. Højlund's days might be numbered, and Liam Delap. Surely they just need a Tony or a Gyökeres or someone that's built for it right now, although Liam Delap is cold. And I'm sure he'd want to sign. It's Man United at the end of the day, but obviously, see what my club Arsenal's doing. See, people want to join us and we don't even want them. It's different now. Super Mikel Arteta. Anyways, the Gunners are expected, on a serious note, to sign a centre forward ahead of the 2025-26 season. Liam Delap, for relegation threatening Ipswich Town, has scored 12 goals in 31 appearances so far. Arsenal are expected to focus their attention on finalising an agreement for Victor Gyökeres amid his impressive form, intense immense form, with the Lisbon outfit. Although a move to the Emirates Stadium is seemingly unlikely to take place, Delap is eager to join a club in Europe, with Arsenal Chelsea's preferred destination. That's according to the Daily Star, who claims that Delap has doubts over joining Man United as he wants to play for a club competing at the highest level possible in order to improve his chances of being included in the England squad for the 2026 World Cup. Fair enough. Fair enough. Football transfers understands Partey is taking his time before making a decision on a new contract at Arsenal, with interest from Barcelona adding extra intrigue to the situation. Allegedly, the Ghanaian midfield has been offered a 1-year extension by the Gunners with the option of a further year. However, sources with knowledge of the situation have told Football Transfers that Partey has yet to accept the deal as he carefully considers his next step. So in even the course of doing this live stream, he's been linked with a new deal at Arsenal, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. Who knows, man? As revealed by Football Transfers back in November, a key meeting took place in January, during which the club formally presented their offer to Partey. The players' camp did not immediately provide a positive response. While his time at the Emirates since his move from Atletico Madrid in 2020 has been hit by recurring injuries, this season is proven to be a major turning point. Fully fit and firing, the 31-year-old, damn, Partey, we're both old, has been one of Arsenal's standout performers. Again, apparently Partey is aware of Barcelona's interest. I mean, you couldn't begrudge him for a move back to Spain and playing for Barcelona, a club of that ilk. Always on the lookout for an opportunity. Barcelona have been closely monitoring his performances and are considering a move if he decides not to renew his Arsenal contract. Fair enough. I mean, is Modric going to be at Madrid next season? I know it's a pagan thing because you was at their rivals, but you could do that. Once again, we're confident about signing Zubimendi. Until players officially sign and they're holding shirts, who knows? It just feels like one of those transfers that's always linked with Arsenal. Arsenal allegedly are ready to compete with Chelsea for the signature of Barcelona defender Conde and are prepared to offer 75 million. Mohamed Kudus is open to a move to Saudi Arabia, and West Ham are willing to sell the forward for around his 80 million release clause, if you're monitoring that. Arsenal have been linked with Kingsley Coleman, but apparently he is not our first choice option. Thank the Lord. We're showing very little interest, people. We can afford him, but he's obviously on lofty wages, so the deal would have to make sense. And yeah, he's linked with Spurs and all of that. And what we keep hearing is Nico Williams is allegedly our first choice target. Arsenal have been linked with a young Brazilian. I'm not going to act like I know Donny, but according to Brazilian journalist Lucas Tanaka, Arsenal preparing an offer for a 15-year-old Gabriel Veneno. He's apparently a right-footed winger who still plays for the club's youth system. At 15, he couldn't move until he's 18, but go get that. And he turns 16 in July. Remember, the jewel of Atleticos is considered a jewel by the people who follow the youth team. Remember, he's in the under-16s. He'll be 16 in July. He was called up to the Brazilian national team under-16s last year. If I'm not mistaken, he's an attacking midfielder who likes to play on the right wing, pulling inside. I mean, either you know who the guy is or not. If you're not mistaken, that we're talking about. I've never seen him, but apparently this, ironically, another Gabriel in it. Gabriel Veneno is being watched and approached by a big European club, Arsenal. Arsenal in England is keeping an eye on him. I already have the value of the possible offer that they're thinking of sending in the middle of the year, but I can't give you the value yet. You're chatting, man. I have no doubt that we're probably scouting Brazil, but you're chatting, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, apparently Arsenal are among a number of clubs plotting a move to sign Real Madrid sensation Arda Güler. Yeah, right. I mean, I'm having him, but where's the evidence? Arsenal scouts have been watching him for a number of occasions. It reminds me of the Odegaard deal a bit. He struggled at Madrid, but could be given a chance at Arsenal. Ozil, call your brethren, man. It could be difficult to make a true assessment about his abilities when he's only making appearances from the bench. We saw in last year's Euros. He's a quality player. It's just Real Madrid. You've probably moved before you're ready. It took Mbappe a while to get going. Bellingham's experiences at Birmingham and Dortmund probably helped him. Endrick just, took a while. Vinicius took a while to get going. Slightly Rodrigo. Even players that are in their prime struggle at Madrid. So when you're a young player that's trying to assert themselves, it can be difficult, really and truly. Apparently Dani Ceballos, Carlo wants to make him a key player. We all know they bought him from Betis. He's been part of them for years. Had a couple of years back at Arsenal. Well, at Arsenal, and he's there. So we'll have to see. There's a couple of players I'll take from Madrid beyond the obvious, man. Diaz, I know we can't offer you Madrid stuff, but you know what they say, Diaz, if you can't beat them, join them. Stay humble. I'd have Arda Güler, but I don't buy this. I would have reservations about the deal because if he isn't good enough for Real Madrid, I don't believe he can be the answer to Arsenal's problems. That's great logic. But he's certainly one they've been looking at and one they could move for if he's available. They want to add depth to their team because that's what they've been lacking. I don't think they'll be the only ones looking because he's certainly a bright talent. Surely you loan him out for a year or two, similar to what they did with Odegaard before you pull the trigger and say, you know what, you ain't got a future here. Keep it moving. Arsenal have been linked with Luis Enrique. I knew there would be a matter of time just because I've seen Bayern Munich and everyone and their dog interested in the Brazilian forward slash winger. Marseille forward Luis Enrique has been linked with a move away from the club at the end of the season, and Premier League clubs Arsenal, Newcastle, and Aston Villa are all keen on his signature. The 23-year-old Brazilian has done quite well in Liga this season. He has 17 goal contributions in all comps. Arsenal could use a dynamic forward like him, and he could allow them to rotate players like Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli more often. We're looking to fight for league titles in the Champions League. We know we need more strength in depth. Arsenal have been thrown into the ring. Apparently, Aston Villa and Newcastle want to sign him as well. Clearly, obviously depth is one thing, but the immediate front three, Anthony Gordon, Isaac, and then Mbuemo, Enrique, whatever have you, Newcastle are laughing really and truly. Aston Villa need a player. Doesn't go into depth. It just says he'll add goals, pace, and flair to the side, create opportunities to find the back of the net. And he has physical and technical attributes to do well in the Premier League. Everybody can be linked with everyone. Ain't seen his name thrown in before. Impossible for Arsenal to block out Real Madrid narrative, which is facts. Luis Enrique said he has no preference between Real Madrid and obviously Arsenal. We're still linked with Joel Hato people, dependent on things we've been linked with. Ironically, 2 Dutch players. I know Heinzen plays for Spain, but you get where I'm going. Apparently, Hato is valued at 40 million. I'm having him, can play centre half as well as left back, and it would make me happy. We won't be doing a watch along, people, but we will be here, obviously, to do a reaction dependent on how the game goes. But that appears to be everything. This is PSG's year. They do look good. You need to get rid of who? Oh, Arsenal might be outgrowing Odegaard. Football's a weird game because if he goes and bads it up today and has a good season, where are we looking at? And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I've heard people say sell Saliba.